ApORKalypse! Ladies and gentlemen, the Warbosses of Da ApORKalypse.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Warboss Show with me, Sid, off of the Drunken Ork, Essex, from the Essex Boys, and Dim, the old hobby git. Right, lads, so this one's been a long time coming, isn't it?
Just a tad.
Was it? I think we talked about this recently, actually, when me and Clint done a vid, but about December, I think, 2022. I mean, I was going to say before pandemics and all that, but we still had them. We had a little vote to the public to decide which was the best Orky kit for kit bashing, and didn't quite grasp the meaning, but we voted anyway. It was voted the Battlewagon was a kit we were all six of us, all six were going to grab that kit and run with it and do something amazing. That wasn't a Battlewagon, and
it was.
Some of us have finished it.
Yeah, you notice there's 3 of us and not 6.
Some of us.
Yeah.
Some the people who finished might just be here. Well, I say finished. I'm most of the way
maybe
there.
they're not.
Yeah. I've still got some painting to do, but when you see this, it'll be finished.
It'll be done. Yeah. Just rest assured. Whatever you see. No, you'll be seeing it finished.
Is this video coming out in another 6 months? Was it 6 months from now?
Sid's editing.
Yeah, this is scheduled, this video, to come out tonight. Now. So, as you can see, absolutely bang the target there. No bother. To be fair, though, on the other 3, they have, there may be some additional little cameo clips from Warbosses, not amongst us 3, showing what they did manage to do as well. So,
Or did not.
We've got busy lives get in the way. I mean, hobby's lovely and we all enjoy it, but at the end of the day, sometimes life does get in the way, and that's just the way it is. So, have we all
never changed?
No, this is going to be a question which is going to sound silly because it's going to be blatantly obvious in a few seconds that I probably know the answer, but at this minute I don't really. Have we all done videos showing our build process?
Yeah.
Boys and girls, have we now? Have we? Good.
Yeah.
So who's we going to have a look at first?
Sid's?
No, save the best till last.
Yeah, I was going to say probably, yeah. Let's get mine out of the way. Fucking deal with mine.
Oh.
You know what? I don't even know which one's going to be first. I'm just going to say, let's have a look at the first one then.
Yeah. Hello, gang. So I guess it's my turn. So I've decided to horrendously cheat. Pretty much like I did last time, really. In a different way, though. I thought I would do something a little novel. I'm still obviously sticking within the rules because I am still making something from the Battlewagon kit, just not using all of it. I thought it would be fun if I did something incredibly stupidly ambitious using only, with a few exceptions, the 5 kits that we talked about. Now I have slightly cheated because I have used some can bits, and I've used a part from a Forge World model that happens to be a spare that I have, but it fitted so nicely, and we'll get to that in a second, that I kind of had to. And the second that I show you this and I attach it to the model, when I find wherever on earth I've stashed it, you'll have a greater realization of what I'm intending to build. So I've done a fair bit to start with, and probably thinking, oh hey, great start to a which one is it with the? I can never remember. They're all the Mechatrack Scrapjet, right? Is probably what you're thinking I'm making, or maybe the Formula 1 one. Having done this, I've now realised that this is an absolutely great way to make an Ork vehicle. and I am going to revisit this to make a some kind of orc vehicle from this. I have to, having done this. But that's not what I'm actually intending to build, because this is upside down, actually. It's supposed to be this way. Right? You're thinking, what the heck are you building? And I got out the Forge World model that I wanted to stand next to, shall we say. I'm still trying to not give it away. And I checked it for scale. And I thought, oh, actually, I don't really have to do a great deal of work to make this make sense for the footprint of the miniature that I'm comparing it to. And I took one of its parts, namely this part, and I went, oh, you know, I'll just see what it looks like in comparison to it and see how close I am to, you know, being on the money. And then it literally clicked. So, yeah, once I'd done that, I realised that not only am I onto something, that I can absolutely make a baby small squiggoth from the 5 kits, which is my plan. That I absolutely have to use this jaw plate, because I have no intention of putting that on the proper model, because I think it looks a bit dumb on that, but I think it looks beefy as heck is on that. And I thought, well, you know, sometimes that happens quite a lot, you know, with developing a good eye for kitbash is quite a fun thing, because you get the wonderful moments of satisfaction when, you know, your eye is bang on, and it's almost like the two parts were supposed to come together. Granted, I did do a little bit of work, but you're probably thinking, oh, that's a cool engine. Where did you get that? Where's that from? That's from the garage, the mech garage kit. Literally. Like, cut the chains off, obviously. The front hasn't gone in, and I've had to do some serious cutting work to the kind of the cockpit bit that you stick in, just to make sure that it'll fit. But I didn't have to do any great deal of work to get that to fit in, and I'm going to do a little bit of bodging about to make it look a little bit, you know, make it look like it fits a bit better, even though you're not really going to see it much because it's going to be upside down and, you know, in front of things. I thought I just got really lucky with the jaw plate, right? So I thought, oh wow, yeah, there's no way that can repeat itself. Well, once again, the mech garage kit comes into its own, because it has this jaw plate, right? And if you flip that upside down and you stick it on there like that, I mean, it'll be more secure when I've actually glued it, but look at that. It's perfect. Down to the questions. Dim, what the hell are you doing? I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. I've had a hard few months, and quite frankly, I'm enjoying the distraction. So, you know, one thing I have done is that sort of I use plasticard tubes to glue these wheels in place. These wheels are going to act as articulation points. They're not really meant to do anything other than to work with the other gubbins and worky bits in order to make it look like the legs would move. Kind of like look at them as sort of shoulder joints, right? And also, the good thing about them is they're a very convenient platform that I can obscure with these from the Battlewagon kit. So they're going to go on the sides like that, and that's going to go on the top bit, and these are going to comprise the parts of the howdah. I'm thinking I'm probably going to stick a cannon on this, /zap/lobber. You know. And I'm not entirely sure exactly what I'm doing with the back yet. I kind of want to have a tail weapon. I'm thinking on the tail weapon front, I might just use the big claw thing from the mech kit. Again, just use that. It might even do the job. Or even I could use the grabber claw from the Battlewagon kit as well. Both are options. And I'll weigh that up as I go. I do want to have kind of like a pilot at the back, but I don't want it at the front because obviously I'm going to stick the gun on the top, and there's all of the bits on the front of the mouth to kind of do. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I've still got quite a lot of work to do. So I'll just show you what the legs are intended to be. So I've got, I grabbed these from the can kit. Right. Now you're thinking, where are the balls from? Well, the balls are from this. I can't remember which part. I think this is all Def Dread, so that's a Def Dread arm, and I think that's another Def Dread arm, I think, for the shooty ones, I think. Might be can. Those two kits are interchangeable to me, so I don't really feel like I'm cheating too much. And what I'm going to do is, that's the entirety of the feet. I'm probably going to try and do something to bulk those feet out a little bit more. They don't seem big enough. I do kind of think they're funny, being as small as they are, but I will probably do something to beef them up once they're glued together. But the legs are going to go in like this, and connect to the feet. So there's the 4 legs done, right? That's going to be an absolute pain in the arse to glue, to be honest. I'm dreading it. But that's what I've got so far. We've done quite a spin on since the last time. So I've been having a lot of problems with my hobby cam, and today it finally gave up the ghost. I think it's dead. I'll need a new C920, which is unfortunate. It's been a temperamental piece of crap since I got it, to be honest, so it's part of the reason why there's not many videos on my own channel. It's one of them, anyway, there's lots of reasons. I finished the build, so I'm going to go over it now. I'm going to be holding it up and talking about it, but I am, in spite of the fact that I've tried to rig it as best, using my talkie cam that isn't designed for detail, to show you everything, I suspect there's going to be pictures instead. And I apologise for the condition. I was hoping the downward camera would survive long enough to at least help me finish this project, but I'm just going to have to order a new one. So, here we are. Here's a big fella. To be honest, I've surprised myself. Just going to remove this. Well, the grot isn't glued in yet because I'm probably going to paint him separately. But so yeah, this took a lot. I've butchered a lot of kits to get this. On the whole, though, I did stick to my ambition more or less, with a few exceptions. It's all from the kits that we mentioned in the Warboss video. And I have slightly cheated by going, well, a lot of people mentioned the killer cans as well. A lot of the Warbosses mentioned the killer cans. So I've kind of treated the killer cans and the Def Dread as the interchangeable kits they actually are. So that I can, you know, do crazy stuff like this. So the legs took quite a lot of work, actually. But when I finally did it, I just used regular sort of killer can or Def Dread feet, and it felt wrong. It felt missing. So I've used some of the feet, the sort of sturdy boot cover things that I think are from the Def Dread kit, to bulk it out and make them look like big, beefy feet. And it's just set it off big time. This is actually working quite well. It doesn't look too bad. You can see the detail. So yeah, you can see the feet there. It's a bit fuzzy, but you can make it out. I will go to photos now, though. So I'm not going to be exhaustive in what's what, but I'll try and cover the main bits. So the lower jaw is obviously from the Forge World Squiggoth kit, which I have no intention of putting on my Forge World Squiggoth. I've got the horns instead. The upper jaw is from the mech garage kit, The core body is a Dakajet. I just flipped it upside down, covered in some of the details. We've also got at the back, there's some mech gun bits. There's a truck bit for the wrecking ball to make the tail. A few bits from the Battlewagon and the truck scattered about. A Death Dread armor plate at the back. The shoulders, just to give a little bit of armor to the legs. It's not a huge amount, but it's nice without detracting. They're from Death Dread shoulder pads, and Killer Can ones probably as well. The exhausts are from the Cromlech grot tanks, but you know, we haven't got everything here because there's obviously this bit here, and you can probably see on the front there's magnets. What are they for? Well, for the big guns, obviously. So I've got a zap, a cannon, and a lobber, which I slightly mangled. It doesn't work entirely perfectly, unfortunately. And I can't bother to redo it. I'm gonna be slapping paint on this beast shortly, which is why I'm recording this now. Yeah, the guns came together quite nicely. The grot is a mixture of stuff, so he's from the Stomper kit. I've got rid of the ludicrous oversized hammer in his hand and given him a hand from one of the Cromlech grot tank crew ones that I've got, because I never stick the crew on the grot tanks. I don't like it. I probably will at some point, but I prefer them on other things. And that's probably a Dakajet grot head. I don't really like how the crosshairs came out, but I don't like the very small ones that you get in all the kits. It works for the lobber, but it doesn't work for the cannon, so I decided to go for a big stupid one. It's not as good as I would have liked it, but it's better than I was anticipating at the very least. Obviously there's quite a bit of plasticard and a little bit of putty to fill in gaps. The putty that does the wires on the face is well, I've used one of them green stuff roller things, and I've used brown stuff because brown stuff holds its shape better, so it's easier to work with and it's a lot harder to leave behind fingerprints. I've got a little bit of cleanup to do, partly to get rid of Vaseline that I've used for when I sculpted the for when I sort of tried to do the green stuff. I did the green stuff quickly. It wasn't perfect, but it's done. And rivets. The rivets I've used are just like model kit sprue, because the tubes were small, because the rivets that are on most of the official kits are very, very small, because they do it with computer, they do it with CAD. And all of the plasticard tube that I had is the plasticard rod, I should say, that I had was too thick, and I did have like bronze rod that is about the thickness that I could have used, but that would have meant painstakingly drilling every single hole, sticking it in, snapping it off, and then doing a lot of work to try and round it out the top, and it's not worth the effort. Even though it was a pain in the backside to put the rivets on, I still prefer what I did to any other option, really. Yeah, so that's the build. So I'm going to go undercoat this beast and slap some paint on it. So, here we are, light at the end of the tunnel. I managed to get it fully painted just in time for the video actually coming out. On the video I mentioned that I was kind of unhappy with the paint scheme. I feel I've done enough to save it. More or less. I'm very, very happy with it. I'm very, very happy with how it came out. I'm just a bit of a perfectionist. and I feel like it would have been nice if I could have matched the quality of the kit bash with the quality of the paint job, but I feel like I've done a decent enough job that I haven't ruined it. Obviously, you can judge that for yourself. I'm just prolonging the amount of time that it needs to take before you actually see some stuff, so should we look at it finished? Yeah, I think we should. So yeah, this is a case of I was loving it till I put paint on it.
I don't know why. I don't know why that you're upset with the.
Yeah, I didn't feel it. I feel like I made the wrong call with the choice of colors. But when you guys see my video, I will have hopefully saved it, even if it's just me that doesn't like it. That's the plan.
Was talking about the paint job that it's at this precise moment, not what you've just seen. And quite frankly, I don't see what he's unhappy about.
An issue.
I don't know.
Anybody else.
I don't know.
Tim is a perfectionist, to be fair.
With no talent, which is the worst combination. It's the worst combination ever. But I mean, I love the build. I'm really proud of what I managed to do. So what I did, well,
I was going to say, what have you created?
And I made an iron squiggoth, and I just because I'm a tight ass, I'm like, I'm not buying a Battlewagon kit. I'm not indulging the internet's equivalent of giving the Warbosses Boaty McBoat face. I'm just going to use whatever Battlewagon stuff I've still got on sprue. And then I had the bright idea of, well, we mentioned a bunch of kits and they were all great. We mentioned the can kit, we mentioned the Death Dread, we mentioned the Mech's Garage, we mentioned the Dakka Jet, the truck, and the Battlewagon. and the mech gun kit. So I was like,
Mm.
do you know what? I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to build a thing where I use bits of all of those kits. And the plan was nothing else. I made a couple of exceptions, most notably plasticard, but also the jaw plate from the squiggoth because it fit too well.
Mhm.
And I couldn't not do it. I literally just used it on the actual Dakajet. I just placed it there to get a sense of scale to see if it was the right sort of size for the head. And then it clicked into place and I let go and it was still there. And I was like, shit, I've got to use this now, don't I? And it was a great decision because I didn't know how I was going to do the jaw aside of plasticard. I do seem to be making animal vehicles all the time. You know, I need to get out of my system. I need to get out of my system a bit, I think. But yeah, it came together really, really nice. And I could have built the legs out a bit more, but I also kind of felt like, well, no, actually, I don't want to bolt out the legs because I want people to see where all the bits have come from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why I was quite conservative in like armament and stuff. And also it's a metal fucking squiggoth. Who the fuck cares? It looks cool. So yeah. And I did some big guns for it as well, which were quite easy to do because I mean, well, the Battlewagon basically gives you two of them anyway. Mm-hmm. And then I bodged together the lobber from whatever the heck this is. Yeah, it's from Death Dread parts.
Forearms of the Death Dread, wasn't it?
It worked worryingly well. Like I had to do a bit of cutting down to make it fit, but yeah, just
yeah.
It's come together quite nice.
Modularity.
Look at the modularity.
I love anything like that. Where you can sort of swap bits out.
And I have got this ridiculous paint that is going to go on the lights, and I wish I had it when I did the squig buggy. It's luminous yellow. So that is going in the lights. So
where's your lights? Your lights? Sorry,
the lights are at the front.
Yeah,
they're the eyes, and they need to kind of pop because if you're looking at it from certain angles, the top jaw slightly obscures them. But the thing was, I just liked that, so I kept it. There's quite a lot of that, and there's quite a lot of that in this build. I did a bit of brown stuff wiring, and I realized sort of halfway through that I could make a really, really nice Orky car with this. So at some point, I'll have to get another Dakajet kit just to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do technically already have one, but I really need to get out of this habit of buying Dakajet kits just for bits. I need to actually have a fucking flyer. But I've never liked
Have you actually built a flyer? Have you actually built one? Yet?
No, I own one that I bought secondhand that I never use in battle reports.
Yeah.
But I've never actually built a flyer to be a flyer. I've always bought bits. I've got ideas for what I want to do for flyers anyway. When Dread was visiting, I think it was when Dread was visiting, I bought like these Escher jet bike things.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And I think you get 4 in the box. And I'm going to remove the Eschers for other projects, and you make like little grot planes. And what I was thinking is, how would grots do a plane? And the thought I had was, well, squadrons. So you just like you have the flyer base, yeah. You have the flyer base, and then you just have three planes. And I think like it doesn't a Dakajet, it has 6 guns, right? I think that's 6 guns.
Up to 6, yeah. Six
so
does, and then it's got the big shooter as well.
So all you do is you have 3 of them, and each of them have got two of the Daka shooters or whatever they are. Each. Shooters, yeah.
So you've got the three little fighters on one base, just all sort of like heights and. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's a nice idea. That's a very nice idea.
And then I've got a third one.
I'm sure that was Dread's idea, wasn't it? That was.
Yeah, I'm sure Dread came up. I'm sure I heard Dread come up with this.
I think Dread came up. Yeah, I think it was Dread's idea.
So it's very good. So for Battlewagon parts, and see the top of the howdah.
It's mostly the howdah, yeah.
That's there's Battlewagon as well. Battlewagon,
isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look to see if there's any other Battlewagon bits. it's really hard to tell which bits are the Battlewagon, which bits are the truck.
Did you
Like-
extend the howdah out? Like, if by extend, I mean from the original Battlewagon, like footprint, is it wider than the normal?
Yeah. So I basically,
Also,
I think the bits are supposed to sit over the top, and I put them underneath and shoved them sort of in.
right.
But it's and put
You
the
dig
like the
it's down in the one.
yeah the trench is normally in the bottom, and what I've done is I put the middle bit higher up because it's the platform.
It
for
is, isn't
the,
it? Yeah,
the
it
mech
steps
guns.
up to the gunner bits, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and that worked quite well. I kind of needed. I was debating whether or not to put the side bits on, but what I decided to do, I put these horrible blocky plasticard bits on the side, and I was so ashamed of it that I just used whatever I could to try and hide how blocky it was. But in the end, it worked out quite nicely because it hooked up really well with the exhausts, because the exhaust sort of filtered out into roughly that position, and then those boxes were quite handy for keeping the howdah secure. So it worked out. Structurally, it works quite nice, even though it doesn't look the best. But I mean,
I don't know. It looks pretty cool.
It's underneath the howdah. Not many people are going to notice, and it was a great solid bit to stick exhausts on, because I wanted some exhaust coming out of it somewhere. The kind of sad thing is I did a real good job of fitting the engine into where the pilot should be, and that's the engine from the garage kit.
Oh, right. I was wondering where the bits from the mech
kit.
shop were.
It's a great engine.
Big old engine, that, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, it's wasted just hanging there. You want to cut that off and use it. It's a really, really good engine. It's better than the truck engine, in my opinion, although I do like the truck engine.
I do like the truck engine. It's usable because it's smaller.
It's also very good basis for a mech gun as well, using you starting with the engine and then adding shit onto it. I made a bubble chucker using that. But yeah, and then the back, I didn't know what to do, and then I had the bright idea of using the mech gun arm, and then
is that what it is?
Yeah, it's the mech gun arm into the actual mech gun sort of spot bit at the back that you place the mech gun arm into, and then I filtered over the truck a wrecker ball, and it fitted. It fitted really nicely, and then I've got like the Def Dread sort of, it's one of the Def Dread back plates, I think. That goes in there, and then I hooked up. I think it's a Battlewagon turret. I think the
one with the hatch up.
Yeah, with the hatch up.
Yeah, that's another Battlewagon piece. Of course, as is all the modular weapons you've done as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a point. Yeah, a lot of the Battlewagon kit is there. And then mounted onto the boarding planks from the truck. Just making the point that so much of this goddamn build is about showing you should have picked the truck, you bastards. But also another good bit.
Mine would have been much different if we picked the truck. To be
fair. Fair. That's the other bit I wanted to point out, is just to show how good the mech's garage kit is. Just like, it's got so many extraneous bits. The top jaw plate is from that. It's from the mech's kit. It's just got some really good gribbly bits. It's
got some lovely bits on it.
It's definitely worth the money for increasing your bit storage, even if you don't want to use it in game. I was looking at the kit the other day, and there's a tri-frame that's supposed to support like the arm going out. If you don't use that,
the engine hoist, in it.
Yeah, that tri-frame, that A-frame, is a really, really good basis for a cutter for Gorkamolka.
Yes, the little is that like the it's a triangle on wheels with a seal?
Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. If we weren't pressed for time, I would dig my cutters out, but they are under like 7 boxes. So I can send you a picture. I'll send you a picture, or you can find a picture online or whatever. Yeah.
That's not necessarily.
It's so we can see the detail on your forehead.
Yeah. do you know my brother? My brother's got loads of. He always has. Even in his 20s, he had deep sort of like
Yeah.
furrows on his brow, especially
Furrows,
when he looked shocked like that. But he used to put matches in them, right? Then light them and go, the devil. It's not all these burning fucking things.
So it's got
Somebody's
full,
doing the pub.
the full Gordon Ramsay creases.
Yeah, you can strike a match on them.
Yeah.
Well, I probably couldn't. Yeah. Right. So,
yeah.
sure. Very good, mate. Very good. Like you see,
how long did it take you? That's one thing. How long did the actual build take you, do you reckon, Tim?
Actually, probably just a couple of days. But the thing is that I procrastinated for months after you guys had got your finger out and already done it.
We
say you guys.
We've had this conversation already, didn't we, and Clint, you see, because we both work better with a deadline. I work better with a deadline, but if I want to do it, it doesn't necessarily matter. But Clint was saying that if he hasn't got a deadline, he doesn't do it until the deadline makes itself apparent, and then it's like all hands on deck.
Look,
stations.
I've done that in a week. Like,
yeah.
A week. It's like we're going to do it next week. Shit, right? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it's kind of the same. Once the deadline is actually looming, is when I start to get into the zone. It's what I did with the squig buggy as well. I ended up, I started, and then like we had like days or even hours before the recording, and I was just like, done.
Still painting.
The thing is that like what took the longest was getting it to the point where the howdah would go on. Once I got the howdah, it started to come together really nicely. And I think overall, I think it was like 3 separate days of probably like 4 hours tops work to get it together. And then the real pain was the legs. And then I dropped the damn thing and the legs came off.
Never good.
I've used the classic the classic reinforcement. If you've got like an odd joint that doesn't work too well, especially if it's like to something like plastic hard, which you have to use super glue for, and you can't use plastic glue, which is where you tend to have the most problems. Just get some green stuff, put some green stuff into it, press it in, leave it, let it cure, give it like a day, break it off, stick a knob of super glue in the gap, get the gap exactly right again, and it'll probably not shift unless you drop it. But through day-to-day use, it should be fine because you're just increasing the surface area of the contact. You're maximizing your glue's potential to hold it. And it's just a very easy way to bodge.
I'm
do a lot of
big fan of increasing the surface area, which sounds dirty, but I didn't mean it like anything like that. I know exactly what you mean. I do.
That's why you're always in Greg's.
Somehow in Greg's.
See, I was going to go with I like big green stuff patches, and I cannot lie.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Dims. We've still got.
Yeah, let's move on.
Should we try and have a bonus? We'll try and have a bonus video.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've got one from the big deal himself, 6+ Steo, haven't we?
Yeah.
Hey, let's have a look at that.
Let's have a look.
Right, so yes, what we have here is not a box of delicious quality street. The purple ones are the best, I think. This is, inside, is my attempt at the Battlewagon build-off. As you can see, it didn't get very far. Now, with the help of our old friend Blue Tack, I might be able to show you where I was going with this. So, Battlewagon wise, I was using Battlewagon as the main chassis of this thing, the main sort of the body of it. And what I was trying to make was a grot mega tank, and I still will. This project hasn't been abandoned. It's just been kind of, I don't know, it kind of, I think what happened was, guys, I kind of hit a stumbling block. It got so far, and then I didn't really know where to go from that point onwards, and it just became a little bit, yeah, I don't know, I kind of just hit a roadblock with it. So what I will do It's just kind of put the bits together. This front bit is actually from the green one, and it is the old like second edition Rogue Trader era like Ork Battlewagon, a recreation of that, and it works really well with this because it kind of slots on. As you can see, this was going to sort of be the drive-in bit, and then here, and then I've got a bit. This part is from Ramshackle Games, and this was going to sort of mount onto there like so to sort of build up the body. And then I had various turrets. I've got some turrets here from Gear Guts that I was sort of playing around with. Quite cool because it's got the Grot Rebel star on it. Other Gear Guts turrets. And I even got as well, look, I even got the bit, the Grot Gunner bit from the Rocket Truck. No, the oh, what's the damn thing called? You know, the flying buggy, the buggy that used to be a flyer, the Megatrack Scrapjet. That was it. So I got the Grot Gunner from that. So he was going to be sort of mounted, sort of here, just above the driver's bit, and sort of build bits around that. Yeah, do you know what? I struggle to remember what these parts were going to be, but I don't know. It kind of reached this point, and then I was like, I wasn't sure where to go with the rest of it. I will revisit this project. I will do something with it. It just won't be for a little while. And the reason being, the Grot Mega Tank, as cool as it is, doesn't really have a place in my army as of yet. I'm just kind of focusing more on Death Dreads and Killer Cans and things. I still want to just carry on building this Dread mob up. I do think this could be something really cool. I like the sort of look it's sort of getting. It was on the way to being something, as you can see. I'll get some pictures and stuff with it. I haven't actually needed to use the blue tack actually because I'm not touching it. Yeah, so as you can see, I was going to sort of build it up because Grot Mega Tanks are quite tall. You know, I'm looking at it now. I'm like, actually, I was a bit further on than I thought. Really, it's just a case of gluing all these bits together and, you know, filling in with bits. But yeah, it's you will see it completed one day, just not on this video. So yeah, it's at the moment this box of Quality Street represents a box of failure. But yeah, I don't know. I just I wasn't overly. I don't know. Look, I failed. All right, that's it. But look, it's there. You can see where I was going with it. And yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I think it's got something. It's exactly the same sort of footprint as a Grot tank, which is what I like. It's like scale wise, it's bang on where it needs to be. And I think a lot of people make Grot tanks to sort of look ship-like and stuff, and they look really, really cool. But I think a Grot tank can look like anything, and a Grot mega tank certainly would look like anything. I think the Grots would have just, you know, salvaged it from random bits of scrap and built it up. And yeah, but I don't know. I will revisit this. I think what I need to do first though is get better with plasticard. I want to start building some more stuff out of plasticard, and I think that will really help me with this, building up the sort of main body of it and the turrets. I kind of didn't want them being all down the centre. I want them sort of being a little bit off centre and sort of towers and bits on it. You know how the Grots, the official Grot mega tank looks. I want it to look a little bit more like that. But yeah, we've got the start of something here anyway. But yeah, it's not going to be as impressive as the work the guys have done who have actually finished and got something to show for it. So yeah, sorry guys, but next time viewers, when we ask you to vote for what kit you want us to kit bash, don't say the Battlewagon. In fact, we're not even going to give you that option anymore.
So that was Stevo's video. He got some ideas in, definitely, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought it'd be
I think it was
Bit more glue.
I think he was better off. I think he was better off doing the commission job. Yours came out lovely.
I did do a grot tank.
Yeah.
I did do a mega grot tank, giga grot tank.
You go.
After that, just with Battlewagon turrets and Battlewagon tracks and that. But that was just for
You done
me.
a nice.
I think that's the only thing that kind of gets me with when people do the mega grot tank. Oh god, look at me going into my grot sort of. Putting my grot goggles on. But like people worry about getting it tall, and I mean it is quite tall.
Tank.
Yeah, it is quite tall, but only like it's the smokestack bit in the middle that's the tall bit.
I'll always look at the dimensions, and it says like 5.5 inches tall. But when you look at it, it's like it's got like a couple of spindlies.
The only reason it's even vaguely tall is because you've got to stick a turret on the top of it, and then there's those stupid masts that nobody puts on because they're terrible.
Well,
You're talking about the Forge World one.
Yeah.
I do like the tall. I just like a tall, thin grot tank. I just fucking. It's every dimension screams. That's not how we do tanks. But and they're like. And plus from the front, it gives a nice sort of like, it looks like a ship, as if you've taken the ship out of the water and just stood it on the ground with all the, the
It's on dry. It's in dry dock. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I like them. I'm going to do.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about grots and boat themed vehicles.
I know
it just seems to be our thing, pretty much. Like, and I do know one day I want to do like a Yamato style battle fortress for grots. Definitely.
Nice.
Is that a big boat?
When I plan to expand,
a Japanese battleship or something.
Yeah, it's like a huge feck-off battleship. Yeah, I mean, I've already got a battle fortress going that uses like a Bane Blade and a Land Raider and a Battlewagon. If I ever finish it, yeah. Back in the days when I had disposable income. Yeah.
Fucking too much of it by the sounds of it.
Yeah, way too much. Way too much of it got thrown at Warhammer. But I did that all the time at the back of my day. That's my problem. I'll just go, let's take these 4 expensive kits and go make one thing. Do it all the bloody time. But like the advantage of like a grot kit, just like. It's odd because for some reason they lean into the nautical theme. I mean, in Rebel Grots, that's kind of what they did. The big lugger, less boaty, but in the artwork it looked very boaty. And then you have the cutter, which is just literally taken from like 16th century boat parlance. When I did my own Rebel Grot Codex, everything was boat themed, like all of the vehicles that I added in. And there was a lot of vehicles because I was trying to cater to 3 markets in one, which is what you get with a lot of Rebel players, because there's Rebel players who do Imperial Guard, there's Rebel players who just use the Ork Codex, and then there's Rebel players who literally just make up their own shit. So, and I wanted to make up my own shit. So as a result, there's like 3 codexes worth of units in my codex. And I did like a frigate for like medium-sized. Love frigate. That was the best idea I've ever had. And then a galleon for like the big feck-off thing. And I plan to make one of those as well. I love the boaty thing, but leaning into the lore. If you want to do something different with grots, the lore behind the grots, where they factor into the whole thing of when orcs develop, is that they build towns. That's what they do. They're the builders. They build all of the stuff, so they're quite good at building. I do remember people sort of kicking off about like grot riggers being really, really good at removing immobilized. And it's just like, but the grots make everything. Yeah. A lot of the mechs design the stuff, but the grots do the building.
Did Games Workshop nick the lore from Fraggle Rock? So the grots, the doozers. Yeah. What were they called? The doozers? When they were dozers or doozers, was it?
Yeah.
Little green dudes.
Something like that, yeah.
Then you had the Fraggles and then you had the big dudes, didn't you? Like,
Dogs.
Yeah.
Look,
that's it. I love that show. That was so good.
It's so good.
And you had Mr. Mackay from Porridge run the lighthouse with these dogs that appear to be knitted for him by a loving relative.
I used to
but
like
that's fine.
Uncle Travelling Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, little postcards for around the world.
Ah, bollocks!
What the feck were we talking about? Oh, right. Before I forget. Yeah, no, it was not Fraggle Rock, but like the reason I mentioned the whole Grot's building stuff is you could do like buildings as vehicles, and that'd be kind of cool. Quite Mortal Engines territory. You could do a lot of that because obviously Grots they'll be great at building things. That's what I really like about Sid's one, because Sid's really does that. It looks like it's kind of like a settlement on tracks, which is quite nice. I think that's kind of the way to go, very much so, if you're not going to go the full boaty.
Yeah, I want to go full on stone towers and shingle roofs and fucking wooden huts out
just
of
like
limb and all
old
sorts
school,
of stuff.
Like the old school Ork vehicles from Epic, like that, yeah.
But I was just having a look
with this.
Obviously, because we were gonna talk about Steve-O's vid, we got very distracted there.
Well, we kept more or less on topic of the Grot Megas, but yeah,
true. I do like. I've not seen many of those. The green, is it the green one?
Yeah, the green one.
Yeah.
Which is now available through Ramshackle. I
yes,
remember.
I think it's Ramshackle.
Curtis has all that stuff.
I think I need to get a few odds and ends for that, because they look awesome.
There's some really nice stuff amongst all of that.
Conversions and that. Yeah, I think like sticking stuff together.
I'll do a plug for my mate who also gave his stuff to Curtis, because Curtis at Ramshackle, he also has the Foxbox stuff, and a lot of that's really good, especially if you like your Gorkamorka. There's some nice, definitely made for Gorkamorka things in there, like the Gorkamorka vehicle sprues and stuff. Like for the different weapon options for the trucks and stuff, and they're really nice. Yeah.
Steve-O looks like he's he shame he lost faith with it, because he got to a point, didn't he? It looked like it was
he had all the bits.
I'm sure. Yeah, everything there, isn't it? Just didn't have that final drive, that little bit of...
That's kind
there
of
is that
problem.
thing in it when you
when
you don't do, if you're not doing it for a specific theme in your army, or you know, if you're only doing a little bit, like Steve doesn't do, he's not very, very prolific, is he, in building and painting? He does stuff that's for his army, and he's building on that all the time. If it's not like usage, where you're just making stuff all the time for different things, and just for the hell of it.
There's a lot
not for a specific army.
Said for having a plan, though. You know what I mean? For knowing what you need or what you want and sticking to that. Because I never sat down and wrote an army list until I went, right, I wonder how many points I've got. And I had like 4,500, and I was like,
oh crap.
Yeah. I mean, I think I only had one unit of 20 boys. The rest of those.
Is this Sid going? It's nice to have some discipline instead of just building whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I've built stuff.
Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? Like, yeah, I know the feeling, because I just kind of just follow my muse as well. Just often I start and I don't even know what I'm doing. I think the Warbosses 2 challenges are probably two of the very few occasions where I've known what I wanted to do to start with. I mean, granted, I do it a fair bit where I know what I'm doing, and I look at kits specifically looking for particular things, which is probably the main skill I've got in hobby, which is, I think, probably why I've got part done, convert a lot of built things and not a lot of painted things. But yeah, I think that's kind of the problem, though, that Steve kind of ran into, is it's the problem of the Grot Mega Tank, is that, strictly speaking, the problem with it is it's very much channeling the Metal Slug idea of, if this thing really existed, those turrets shouldn't work. And why are they sticking out at that weird angle? Yeah. And if you were trying to kit bash your way to that, it'll never look right. It will, but it'll take more effort and probably plasticard to get you there.
Yeah,
and I have every faith that if Steve-O took the time for it, he'd be great at doing plasticard. But I think he lacks confidence with the scratch building side, which I can identify with because I mostly kit bash as well. It's more or less how I roll. I did probably more plasticard for this than I think I've done in a while.
Yeah, you just got to I think you've just got to dive in with it, and you just
do it, innit?
You learn by doing.
You need one of these. I've learned that, right? These cutty scribers. They are the best bloody thing.
Leave scriber. I've actually got the exact same one, although I'll be honest, I don't use that one.
For scoring, I used that.
I use
pen.
That one.
Oh, Stazzy, yeah.
Just because, I'll tell you the difference. The yellow one, the blade on it's like a knife blade. So it cuts. Yeah. Whereas this one, it's got a flat, it's like a chisel. It's probably Go Gadget eyeballs, 0.5 mil, maybe 3/4 mil thick. But when you cut it once, it just curls up a little white plastic pube of plasticard in the furrow, and then you can get rid of your ruler because you've got a groove at that point. And because it hasn't got a blade on it doesn't veer left or right. It stays in the groove, and you make all these little old man clock springs, and I'll come pinging out, and then it just snaps off. But it keeps a straight line; it doesn't veer off.
Yeah,
right, Tim.
Nice. You right there?
That's the collective now for plasticard now or pube.
I've normally got a few of them knocking about. You know what they're like. They're going off like rockets. But
they get everywhere.
They drop off and you've got way more white ones than you remember.
We are still talking about plasticard, yeah? So that was Steve-O's grot tank.
Yep.
In potential.
Quality street.
I was going to say,
sorry,
this episode was sponsored by Quality Street, but I thought, not bar.
I mean, that was a fucking start in a controversy there, saying the best one's the purple one. It's the green triangle, Steve-O.
Oh,
get it right.
You see, I do like the purple one. I do like the green triangle. I fucking hate the toffee penny.
Yeah,
toffee penny. Yeah, especially if you've got a filling.
We're not in Victorian times anymore. Come on, move on.
With any selection, assortment selection box, the way to figure it out is which is the one that you open the box and you get the least of to the extent that there's barely any in. It's that one. That's the best one. Like the Maltesers, there's a reason why they had to start selling them separate because everybody just wanted them all the time.
Yeah, it did.
Anyway, yeah. Should we look at another one?
We'll look at next bit. So, Clint, where are you?
Yeah, go on, I'll go.
Right, you listen. So let's have a look at Clint's build vid, or whatever he's put together.
This week in Big Mech Mel's Mech Shop, we're revisiting a Warbosses video that we should have done about a zoggy year ago. A Battlewagon bash of the ages.
We've all selected one kit each. We're going to make a case for the kit, and then the rest of the Warbosses can chip in. They can agree, disagree, debate, and talk about the ups and downs of each kit. But ultimately, it'll be you guys at home that decide which one of these kits is the best for kit bashing, converting, and then in the future we will do something with the results of that and that kit, and hopefully turn out hopefully 6, maybe 6, maybe less finished projects for you to take a look at and peruse for future videos.
And that's right, a week or so later, the community had decided, and a Battlewagon it was. So, time to get to work. So I picked up a Battlewagon kit from my friendly local gaming store in Harlow, Marquee Models. Lovely little shop, get down there if you get a chance. I built up the cab like normal, and the back section, removed the tracks, put a rear axles of a truck kit on the back instead of the tracks, and then built up the front to make it a bigger engine base that looked more like an American Juggernaut style truck. And then I chucked a truck engine in the front, but then it meant I had to extend the arms for the death roller, which I used a little bit of a scale model kit just to extend the arms. You see the green plastic there. And then went about building a trailer out of 2 massive tubes, which I got some water bottles for my kids in, and then they became a trailer. Covered me a load of cardboard, a bit of plastic card, a bit of diamond plate, and then stuck some bits all over it really. Plastic card, made a huge harpoon, yeah, the turret. The idea is, without the trailer on it, it could be a kill rig. That's what I want to run it as, but I just thought, why not make a massive war rig? And I'm thinking about doing a custom scenario with the other war bosses with this thing, so I thought it'd be a laugh. In my head, the canon is that this rig runs around with the speed wire for the evil sons, and it carries all the fuel for the speed wire. And then on the back, in the future, I want to make a little caravan that gets towed at the back of the rig, which sells squig burgers to the speed wire. So as they're going, it's like a totally mobile wire. It doesn't have to stop for nothing. It's got all the fuel, all the food, everything, and they just go for it. The rear axles on the truck weren't quite wide enough, though. I thought they looked a bit skinny. So I just extended the axles a bit, so a bit of plastic tubing, and then I put a cocktail stick inside the plastic tubing just to widen the axles a bit, so the wheels stuck out a bit further because it was just looking a bit too skinny. There was a prime with matte black, and then a dry brush all over with lead belcher, just to pick out all the details. You can see I've stuck a load of bits on the side of the plastic card just to sort of detail it up a little bit. The extension on the nose. Then I did start painting the top turret, and I used that as like a guide of how I was going to paint the whole rig. I wanted it to be evil sons, so predominant colour red with a little bit of black Templars, the contrast paint. Black Legion it is, Black Legion contrast. And then I did a load of checkers, a little bit of Avalanche Sunset, and then just a few dabs of blue for a little bit of an accent, that low firm blue. I really like that. Just sort of breaks it all up a bit. You can see there, just picked out a bit of Evil Sun Scarlet on the little skull glyph there. A little bit of that Ulthan Grey, I believe that is. And then I paint the black checks over the top of that after marking them out with a mechanical pencil. And in a minute here, you will see me actually doing the checkers on the trailer part of it. And you can see a bit of Avalanche Sunset. Just on all the weapons, I did the Avalanche Sunset because that's obviously the bit of show-offy bit. All the guns in it. It's the Bad Moons showing off a bit, being flash kits they are. So all the guns and then all the extra bits like the grabbing claw and that, they're the Bad Moons bits, aren't they? And that was the cab basically done. So time to move on to the trailer then. Yeah. All the detail bits, all the little extra weapons I left off and then painted them separately. Some of them I haven't quite got finished, but most of it's just about there. The fat Ork there from the Rucker Truck Squig Buggy, he's not quite finished yet. I've not got him painted. But yeah, sort of the water tower. Yeah, got most of that done. I've done a nice little glyph on the other side of that. But you can see I've just sort of picked out and weathered various parts. I tried to... Yeah, here's the checkers that you see where I've marked out with a mechanical pencil there, and then I just fill it in with the Abaddon black. Yeah, I did film myself doing that, so you can have a look at that. And I tried to do a sort of flame effect on the bottom there, make it look sort of fiery, sort of represent the fuel inside. I don't know, something like that. I was just pissing around with it, to be honest. And then we sort of weathered it up, and then you can see a whole shot of the trailer and everything. Bit of weathering, bit of stippling with typhus corrosion and some lead belcher. Yeah, a few washes, some rust washes, some various contrast browns over the top of the metallics, just to make it look. I've got a bit of a blank spot at the back there. I painted a freehand glyph on there, which I did film, and it's on here in a minute. And here you can see me just doing the checkers. So just, yeah, a little bit of watered down, lightly watered down, a bad and black, and then just going in with the lines where I marked it out with the mechanical pencil over the top of the Ulthan grey. You see, don't need even to do a full on white underneath. It doesn't have to be bright white, because the contrast between the Abaddon black and the Ulthan grey doesn't need to be a bright white, because I find with the actual GW whites especially, they can go really chalky. So that slightly off-white, greyish white seems to work better for me. So I just use that whenever I need to represent white. I just use that Ulthan grey. It's not a bright white, but it's good enough, especially when you're contrasting against the black of the checkers. And you can see me doing that little glyph I was talking about on the sort of dead spot at the back of the trailer. So yeah, just marked out the Orky skull with a mechanical pencil, my favourite little tool. But just nice, it's just easy then. Just if you go wrong, just rub it out. Just mark it out with a mechanical pencil, filled it in with Ulthan grey, you can see here, my favourite. Not actually white, but it is white. Yeah, so obviously this is sped up by about 1,000,000 times. It took me about 20 minutes, I think, all in to do this. Don't worry, this bit's not 20 minutes, it's only about a minute and a half. So once I've got pretty much the outline, just go over it, fill it all in with the Ulthan grey. That's it, get it all filled in there. And then it's just like highlighting up then the edges, just to give it a little bit of depth really, otherwise it looks a bit boring. So then I just did a 50-50 mix of the Ulthan grey and Abaddon black to make a sort of grey. You could just use grey if you want, but I just had them on a wet palette, so I just mixed it up and just went around some of the edges just to give it a little bit of depth. And then after that I just did a little bit of shadow with just some straight up Abaddon black, just so it didn't look quite so flat on the back there. Yeah, that's it, little glyph done. With the glyph done, then here's one of the little turrets with a little grot inside, a little exploding signal on the side, symbol, little glyph. Yeah, and that's it, pretty much done. So I did some weathering on the tyres, just typhus corrosion straight over the undercoated tyres, just to give them a little bit of weathering. And you can see the glyph at the back on the trailer there, with the Warboss on bike, the old Forge World one. God, that's an old model for me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Then on the side of the water tank, on the opposite side, I started doing an Evil Sun's sort of Speed Freaks War glyph. I couldn't think what to do, so yeah, I got the inspiration from, I think it's the cover of the Speed War novel, I think it was. So I used that as inspiration and just did that sort of freehand on the side. And that's it, my war rig done. I hope you like it. And obviously it's the best one out of all the 3 out of the 6 that actually got done. Obviously it's not the best, and we all know Synth is the best. Me and Dim had a good crack at it. Hope you liked it, and vote for me if you fancy it. If not, well, you're going to vote for Synth now, because this is fucking brilliant. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and yeah, catch you on the next one. That's it, guys. All done. Thanks very much for watching, and if you like what you've seen, give the video a like and consider subscribing for more Orky builds. Catch you on the next one.
So the trailer, is that like twice the length of the cab or the same length again?
It is twice and maybe 3 times almost.
Excuse me. I thought it was quite a bit bigger when I remember seeing it like all together.
Yeah.
It's a long fella. And bearing in mind the cab is...
Bear in mind that's a full battle wagon with a bit on the back and quite a bit on the front.
That's a lot. That's...
Yeah, it's got an extended
That's
nose.
it. Does this help? It's about that big.
Yeah. But I mean, considering you're probably wanting to... He means his cock. It does at least mean though, if you're doing like your Mad Max scenarios with it, that looks like it wouldn't stop. Whereas like if you did like an ordinary sized 18-wheeler or an ordinary looking 18-wheeler against a lot of Ork vehicles, it's like that thing's gonna stop violently in a few seconds. Whereas yours looks like nah. And absolutely Death Roller on front is the way to go, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then turrets for days.
Well, it to look like a land train. That was my whole idea. A full land train with just turrets all over it. Yeah. And just
whatever that
boys and grots and just
whatever that big Australian truck's called, which I presume is land train. Land train. One of them.
It's just the cab's just so big. You could use it as not so much scenery, but like the centerpiece of a game, like some actual game where you've got to try, with like a rolling road type board, and you've got to try.
That's what I want to do. Yeah, that's the whole idea. Yeah.
I do think it is quite funny that I was the one who made a monstrosity for my kit. I made a monster. I made like a big Orky unit for my kit, not a gargantuan, but I made a big squiggoth. And you two have made my squiggoth look like a tiddler.
But the idea with this is so the big trailer or the big war rig, the big land train thing, just for a bit of scenery, really, and a bit of fun, just because I can.
Absolutely.
That's what that's for. It's not for... But then when I take it off, then hopefully, as you will have seen in the video, it will double up then as a kill rig, a mechanical kill rig without the squig. Is kind of like the idea I wanted to try and use. That's why I've got the big harpoon on it. And the sticker guy on the top. That's where the only thing I haven't really the lobber. And the only thing I haven't really worked out is the if I wanted to run it as what's the other one? You got the kill rig and
the one with the weird boy on it.
The other variant with the word boy, the hunt. Yeah.
Well, the kill rig's got.
That's the only bit I haven't really worked out yet is how I'm going to do it. Oh, is it the kill rig?
Kill rig's got the word boy on it. The hunter rig hasn't got the word tower, but it basically moves one of the big guns up there and then uses the spare platform to carry an extra 10, 15 boys or something like that.
All right, yeah.
10 snagger boys, yeah. So, yeah.
This must be very snug.
Work out. I have, yeah, they would be, wouldn't they? There's a bit more room on.
They'd just all be hanging on from different places. That's the way Ork should do.
Exactly, that's it, isn't it? Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Bit of plastic card work on the front, just to house the truck engine at the front, and I just thought it had to look like a big American style rig with a big extended bonnet to house the big motor. Yeah, to look like it could pull that fuck off great trailer, really.
Yeah. Well, it is quite large. I do want to.
Yeah, the idea is in my head it's for my Evil Son Speed Freaks army, and this rig carries all the fuel for the whole war, so that all the fuel. So they don't have to stop and they carry all the fuel. And I've always wanted to make a little food truck right at the very end. So a little caravan that was like selling squig burgers, and it just pulls. So it's got all the fuel and a bit of food as well, which is their fuel as well to keep them going, you know. But we'll see if I ever get that bit built. But yeah, got the rest of it done. We'll see if I get to that. I'm sure I will at some point when I'm retired.
nice bit of blending as well on the skull glyph on the top of the turret.
Thank you.
You're going from like a yellow up to a
yeah, trying to make it look like it was burning a little bit, trying to depict the fuel. I don't know, all the flames down the trailer, which you can't see at the moment, but you will in the video. A few flames down the side of the trailer.
Well, I imagine they're excellent. You've got plenty checks on that as well, which is nice.
I do like checks on the big vehicles. I just stack them on everywhere.
You can put the goff in an Ork player, but you can't take it out.
This is very true.
No, I do like my checks.
They do look really nice, though. I wish I could do checks as good as that. They're really nice.
Yeah, no, they're fun.
Just ridiculous. Like I wondered, because when you said you were
break it up a bit.
When you said we use the Battlewagon kit for the cab, I was just like, is he going to leave the back bit on with where the crew would be? The bit that I use for the Howder, I was like, is he going to leave that on? And you have. And it looks great. Like, it really does look great. I didn't know whether or not it would work, because I know a lot of people have used the Battlewagon to make 18-wheelers before. But yeah, it's come out really bang tidy. And also, like, that's really good.
Yeah, well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So this is mine. Hello, Sid here. Welcome to the Drunken Knock Norway. And welcome to the Warbosses. Now, this is a video within a video, which is going to be looking at my build for the Ork Warboss Battlewagon Challenge. I'm sure you've just seen 5 fantastic Warboss builds, or have 5 fantastic Warboss builds to go, or have some 2 numbers, which both are up to 5, if you put one of the numbers before and after. Basically, I hope you're enjoying the 6 Warboss build videos. And the subsequent builds, of course. What industrious Warbosses we are. And in my build, I decided to take the Battlewagon kit, because you voted for it, top voting by the way, and make a kill rig, because I don't have a kill rig, and that is a big fat lie, because I do have a kill rig, and there it is. I got that far through it and went, yeah, just gonna leave that there for a little bit. I will get back to it, but I'm going to have something else pulling it. Maybe a dread. I don't know. I do like a dread. So, I wanted to make another kill rig. I also had been sitting on a particular RTLW kit. The Ork Rock Band. Absolute superb sculpts. 5 minis, a singer, a drummer, a keyboardist, and a couple of axemen, bassist and lead guitar. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to use. Kill rig is basically going to be a moving stage for those guys. So this video itself is going to take you through that build. It's going to be a really sort of chopped down version. I'm going to put the full build video up on my own channel, The Drunken Ork, because it's going to be about an hour or so long. It's going to be quite long. It goes into, as usual, the far ends of a fart, detail-wise. You know, there's no detail left unturned or spared. You know, add your own idiom or analogy or whatever they are, I don't know. But it's going to be a lot longer. Not suitable for this video. So this is a chop down bit to about 10, possibly 15 minutes. Who knows? Well, you will at the end. I don't know now, because I can't see into the future. But yeah, let's have a look at the build. So here we go. This is what I'm starting off with, which is a Battlewagon cab. I've cut the back off, and I've also used the sides from the back piece to extend it up. A couple of rods inside there just to add as well, a little bit of additional structural support. Bits of plastic card around the top, that is to help support the lid when I put that back on, and also to give us a little bit more stage space to work with on top. I'll need to fill that front in as well, of course. This is going to be pulled by the Trampler squig. You see I've already had that painted up, got that with the kill rig itself, and it's going to be attached with a harness and a whole rig section up the front. And because I'm using this as a stage for a rock band, I need some speakers. So I've got this. It's a speaker stack. Basically modelled on a picture I saw from an old festival which just had a vast wall of speakers, all different types and makes and sizes, and just all stacked together, and I thought it looked so cool, so I've replicated that for the speakers of my kill rig. Now, since this is the kill rig, it needs to have butcher boys, so the fellas who stand on the sides with the choppers. Their platform will be made of these, the pieces of the Battlewagon, which will go on the side of the scaffolding. The scaffolding itself is made from these pieces of plastic rod. About a £5 each. These pieces are quite expensive, but they are pretty nice, and it's a lot easier than doing it yourself. Here you can see on the lid I have made a raised stage section out of some diamond pattern check plate and some little plastic rods. That's for the drummer to sit on and do his drumming. It's flattened off on one end just because that's where the speakers are going to be. I've also put some mesh tape over the windows as well, and added some more supports at the back. Yeah, we've got the girders on, so they go down at the front, then you've got the flat platforms for the butcher boys to stand on, and it goes back up to where there's going to be a platform that goes over the top of the Trampler squig. There's also a couple of arms coming out from the sides of the Battlewagon cab, which lock into the Trampler squig's little sockets on his arse cheeks. I also blocked in the front of the cab, although it's going to need armour plating up as well, just to make it a bit more orky. There we go, we've added some more armour plates and put some rivets on it. We've also put this little support on the front, that's to hold a little mini stage for the keyboardist, keyboarder, keyboard operator, organist. At the front you see I've had a couple of little speakers and the saw blades, and then the Trampler squig clips in here, and the speakers blast the music into his ears. By switching the audio channels to left and right, you can steer them. Here's a little platform for the keyboardist, lots of dags on there, checker plate with a few other riveted pieces, that'll sit right there. And there's the platform for the lead singer. It's a lot bigger than a keyboardist's one, probably it's written in his contract, I imagine. It's got some bigger dags at the front as well, like big teeth. That sits right up the front there. Now on top of the speakers, I've added this big glyph plate. Now I've just cut out the basic shape of an orc and some hands, and then with other bits of plastic card stuck those on top for the actual detail, just cutting out little shapes basically. And on the back just scored the main pieces just to show where those bits of like different sections hammered together. Yeah, put the hands on some girders, ready to rock. Also going to have a bagpiper up there, you know, just in case there's any AC/DC covers. Now to cover the back of the speakers, I've made this little flag, which is just 1/2 mm plastic card, which I went at with a lighter to try and flutter it up. I don't know if that's the correct term or not. Got a little bit lighter happy, scorched some of it, and actually warped a little bit of its flagpole as well. Just stray melter shot hit that metal flagpole, it happens. But yeah, it'll do the job. Yeah, I've started painting it. I primed it black, then just weathered the living shit out of it with different browns and metallics. I also painted the red little panels on and the blacks on the tyres and what have you. Still quite a bit to do on it though. I also sprayed the speakers metallic and then just picked out various ones with brown contrast paints. It just adds lots of different shades and tones to it without being too much of a ball ache, to be totally honest. And I will go back and weather this a little bit more. Yeah, we've got the two kill rig guns, the sticker and the big lobber. They've been painted up, and I've also mounted them on long legs so they can sit on the side of the kill rig, out of the road basically, because it was getting a little bit cluttered on there. In addition to painting the guns, I also painted some of the crew. These are the gunners, as well as a piper, the driver, or steerer anyway, and just the dude in the command hatch. And there's the platforms. I've done the checker plate on the floor, and the rest of it's still just basic priming here. Here we go, the kill rig is now attached to the base and the platforms are attached on. I've painted the blue bits of the kill rig here too, which is mostly just darks if I'm being honest, and a couple of checker plates and a couple of hazard stripes, as well as a few colours picked out for the barrels and what have you. Little grot steerer has also been glued on, and the steering speakers for the squig are gold. This is the drummer. He's been painted and attached to his platform along with the little turret ork who's having a bit of a rager. Yeah, that just clips on the top there relatively easily. Magnets on the sides for the guns, so they just snap into place. Here's a keyboardist with his flabberheart organ. Nice little model. Got a lovely flamer tank on his back with a little Imperial Guard teddy bear chained to it. Just lovely. There's a bassist, literally with his axe. That's got a rocket on the end of it, and he's got his own speaker system on the back as well. Bit of a Gene Simmons tone going on. We've also got the lead guitarist with his top hat and curls. He's also got Lash written on his chainsword under his guitar. Oh, who would he be? Answers on a postcard. Well, leave it in the comments. It's 2023 for fuck's sake. But he's quite a cool model. Trench coat all billowed out behind him. Jeans. And because of him and his peg leg, I decided not to magnetise the models to the... Here I've got the lead singer, screaming at the mic. There's a few options with him, like if you want to give him a power claw, or you want to have him holding his slugger and his holster's empty. But I went for the devil horns. And I also made him a little mic stand. And there's the speakers. I've put the piper on, and I've painted the oak glyph. To be honest with you, I just stippled the whole thing with War Flesh, and then stippled it more with Warboss green, then Scarsnick green, and a little bit of Creed camo at the top just to highlight it. And the teeth were just stippled bone white followed by white. I was amazed how well it turned out. I just got an old brush and I chopped the bristles down. I mean, I say an old brush. I got 50 of them for a tenner. I cut the bristles down and just stippled it, and I would like to say I was very, very impressed with the way it turned out. I will do more of this. And on the back, Rage Against the Marine. Some checks down the side. They're actually transfers, and then just a bit of freehand. And because I put it over the back of the speakers, I didn't have to do any wiring. The speakers eagerly leap onto the back of the kill rig and add a lovely little backdrop there for the upper deck. So that's the build. Pretty pleased with how it came out. Actually, I'm very pleased with how it came out. There it is. It's the beast. It is a little bit large. It's going to be tricky to transport. I don't like carrying it across the room, if I'm honest. So, you know, putting it in a car and taking it to the other end of the country to smash some gits up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Rabbit's nose. If you know, you know. But yeah, I like it. There's a lot going on. It's like a proper old school orc sort of build that I used to look at and go, wow, there's so much to see. So I like that sort of stuff. And yeah, done. Done and done. So I hope you like it. Like I said before, if you want to see the full build, make yourself some sandwiches and a flask of coffee, and Drunken Ork will have it on in a bit. Maybe now. Check. And that's it. I'm going to leave you with a few more detailed pictures of the finished model. And I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Don't switch off. There's still a bit of the other video to go. It's Dread again. You hear him. But still, enjoy the rest of the Warboss video. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to everything you see. We all need our love. We all need your love. Take care, kids. Bye-bye.
So I've got lots of things I want to say about this. I mean, once again, I could show off.
Epic.
Gonna clean up again. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think you've done the thing that GW should have done if they had any balls. Like, I really do think that, because I like the kill rigging concept, and I think overall, I think the model's really good. I don't like the squig. I don't like it. But I know a lot of people do like the squig, and like orc players being orc players. If you don't like the squig, you use that for something else, and you'll factor something else in. Orc players have got the talent for that. But the thing that I never understood, and I kind of get it, because it probably would have detracted a little too much, because they really leaned into the beast snaggers with the kill rig, and wanted to synergize quite nicely with the beast snaggers, which is fair. But they really, really should have done something with Goth Rockers and that kill rig, because it was begging to be a stage, and you just did it, and it looks great, and they should have done it. Like, it's really good. And when you're saying, like, when they did that Goth Rocker when they did the Goth Rocker model, that in the animated thing, weren't you saying that he was riding on a kill rig at one point or something?
Battlewagon.
Oh, it was a Battlewagon, was it?
On a Battlewagon with some big old speakers on it, and it looks pretty cool. And I'm sure I've seen somebody actually build one of those.
Yeah.
And it was nice. I mean, the rest of the band were there as well in the animation. Not from GW, obviously.
I think that's probably the one reason they didn't do it, was just because it'd be very on the nose, because obviously there's in Fury Road, which is just a fantastic film. And great inspiration for all players. There is Flame Guitar Man, who has like a massive amp stack. And if they did do it for Goth Rockers, they would have to do an amp stack, because people would expect them to.
Yeah.
And they might think they might be skating close to the legal line with that. So I can understand maybe if that's what disinclined them towards it. But
well, I mean, the amp I'd done there was basically just I'd done it. I'd honestly done that about 6 months before the challenge, before last December.
I remember you showing it off.
A few months. I'd done it, and I was like, "What am I going to do with this?" And it was just supposed to be like a pile of speakers, and they're all at different levels and in a box. And I found a brilliant picture from some sort of festival thing in the 70s or 60s, where it was literally just a wall of speakers, and everyone was different. But I thought, yeah, I'd do something like that.
That looks I love that.
But I didn't know what I was going to do with it. It sat there for ages until I got this, and then hollowed it out to stick magnets in it, because it is magnetized. So the speakers come off, the two side guns come off, and then the drum platform lifts up, and then I can drop I've got a little Bluetooth speaker I pop inside, which is actually in there at the minute. I was just looking for it. I know what it is. And then I can play tunes from my phone. Ha 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 ha. Like,
nice.
Not in a video where it's copyrighted, obviously, but in person.
Well, you could download some YouTube Studio music, I suppose, and use that.
Just play the Warbosses theme tune through it.
Yeah, yeah.
On loop.
Yeah.
For 8 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to use the Goth Rocker, the RTLW, rock band, and I do like the squig. I've got the kill rig still up there, which I need to do something with, but I was going to do this with the truck, have the truck pulled with it, and since we didn't use the truck, I thought, right, Battlewagon. I just cut the back off. I did make it a bit taller as well. I put the sides of the Battlewagon on top of the actual Battlewagon cab. And yeah, it's just about making it look like a bit of orc debauchery with lots of drinking and noise, and
like a little cage inside, isn't it, in the back?
Yeah.
It looks scary.
When I do my kill rig, because sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, and that bloody mate, that's another level. That's brilliant. I love it.
That was a plastic card.
Yeah, but
sorry, I'm all out. I've got an itchy foot.
It's so good.
And then just painted. The painting I thought was really effective. It was just stippling.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks really good.
Looks really good, really good. One of the best things you've done, and you've done a lot of really good
I
things.
thank you, mate.
And I really like this. This, top notch.
Yeah.
Deserved winner.
Well, that's not up to us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we all know that's
We know.
class. That's
we know.
class. It is class, mate. It is class. Deserves all the plaudits. I'm sure it'll get.
I mean, granted, it is only a 3-horse race, but it's between you two. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know
But
about
yeah,
that.
it's been so good though. Like, I definitely would not have picked a Battlewagon for this challenge, but
I don't think any of us would really. Would we?
yeah, I cheated anyway. I used about as much Battlewagon as I used every other kit, but
Well, I
tough
mean,
internet. That's what you get.
look, we've all done. You know, to be fair, I've seen we've done that. Clint's basically used a Battlewagon in its entirety plus bits. I used the front of it. I did use a lot of the back, but there's a lot of plastic card and plastic rod and plastic bits in that, plus an entire 5-piece Ork kit from a different. It's not all Battlewagon. But the thing is, we've said before in these challenges, by taking part, by building something, by finishing something, especially if you're lucky enough to already have the pieces and you didn't have to go out and spend additional money, you've already won. You've won already.
Yeah.
You've got something that's cost you a note, bit of time, a bit of enjoyable time.
And it's fun time, isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And half the time I've been sat here trying to get this painting. I've been chatting with you guys anyway.
Yeah.
So it's been double nice, bit of social,
This is it,
bit of painting, Yeah, enjoy it. It's good.
Yeah.
All good times.
No. So I think we'll probably
get making.
Yeah, get making.
Oh, I did want to mention another thing on SIDS before we move on.
All right.
I think that is probably the best use of a Battlewagon kit if you're going to use it for a conversion, though, is to make a kill rig out of it. Or to bash kill rig and Battlewagon together. Because that's just a good choice. Like, I think the kill rig has its weaknesses as a kit. If you want it to look a bit more substantial, like adding sort of stuff from a Battlewagon kit will definitely help with that. If you think it should be have a bit more punch to it, it's definitely a good way to go. And it's just like it's just a fun little project, because that's kind of the thing about the kill rig, is it's the potential that it has for what you can make into
the rig
it.
there, is it? Is that
and what you can make from it.
Yeah, it's a little bit weedy in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like most things, it got away from us a bit. It's hefty. It's on the same size base. You could say there's overhang.
A little bit.
Rage Against the Marine. Whee.
Yeah, nice.
Just keeping it a bit grotty. And look, it's got moving parts.
Oh, yeah, classic.
I mean, that.
Love it.
Sorry, moving part.
You can take it apart a bit though for transport, can't you?
You can, yeah. Like I say, the speakers, they come off. The 2 side guns come off. That's as small as it breaks down to.
Yeah,
is your band stuck on, or?
Although the drummer does come off. Do you know what? Yes. I thought about it, and there's a little speaker inside it.
Nice.
You've got the little crevasse. The band, yes, I did contemplate. I actually started magnetizing them, but one of them's got a fucking peg, which just makes them the 1 foot magnet only.
Yeah.
He wasn't stopping on, and I just thought, you know what it is? I'll just glue them on. Fuck it. I always do that. I always think, how should I make this movable? How should I get the more? Fucking glue it on.
I mean, if you could keep the bases on them and conceal it, that would probably work. Because I mean, you can look at like Forge World have managed to do that quite well with some of their singing pieces. where it's really, really clever how they do it. Get me. It's the first time I've ever fucking paid a compliment to Forge World, I think. But like, you could do that, but it's so much extra faff. And, you know, people will notice that the bases are there and it might take them away from it. But yeah.
Is this like where you sort of, I've seen it where you do on the armies on parade type things where
little hole in the board and you slot them into the thing. And
well,
it's easy enough on a big board of grass or sand or desert or something. Sorry, I'll face the microphone.
Suppose you could do that with like the diamond plate stuff, I suppose, couldn't you? As long as you match the pattern up.
Yeah, to a degree.
You could possibly do that.
I mean, well, I say to a degree. Yes, of course you could. It would be
a bit harder though, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's bits of that, especially on the guitarists or they have the chopper lads or whatever you call them. You know what I mean, the ones on the side.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be the lads with the axes who deliver smacks and what have you that people go by, because they've both got weapons on. One's got a big axe and one's got a chainsaw bit.
Yeah.
Their platform's not very big.
Right.
It's got the two other big guns on it, and the saw blades are on the front as well. And I haven't really specified what the work tower is. There's a keyboardist with a flamer.
Yeah, the flamer guy. Yeah,
which is very damaging for a flamer. Yeah, the flamer, very damaging for a flamer. But at least it's the auto hit, or it's just a concentrated orc rock coming out of the speakers.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it with a rock. It's my old Zodgrod, which I've put on a 50mm base. So I can
yes.
Use them in modern, or if I want to use them in a better system.
Yeah,
second is not better than 10th.
Well,
I want to say it, but I can't bring myself to. But
that's quite a good idea, that actually. To be fair,
yeah,
it works if you're doing rocks. If I had to disguise it in like a really nice looking vehicle, I don't know if I would be able to pull it off.
No, I don't know if I could have done it. I mean, the lead singer and the keyboardist, possibly they've got a bit of a platform. The drummer, he's not a fucking drum kit anyway, you know.
It's a bit hard. Yeah,
I don't know if that'll ever be finished though, because I did some really, really nice grots, which I don't have copies of because it's off the old pump wagon, which is currently out of production, I believe. The resin one. I dropped this, and one of the grots has gone missing, and one of the grots is missing an arm. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I say grots, snots. They're snotlings.
Well, I think we should.
We got dreads, don't we?
We do. Now this is where we hit a bit of a tricky thing. To be fair,
yeah.
Because, for example, if we used the magic event and said, "Well, there's Dread's video. He raised some very pertinent
interesting points." Yeah.
Yes,
it is quite
gratifying. What he said.
It is quite gratifying to know that we all stole his idea. So
yeah, but that always. I've been getting away with that for fucking years.
Well, don't tell him, but I'm building some troll killer cans at the moment.
Do you know what? I said to him the idea. I think they're a fantastic idea. He's doing them really well. I've seen some cracking ones out there. I fancy they'd fit really well into my snaggery army.
Yeah.
I just can't do them.
I'm doing them. I'm doing them now, and I'm going to have them finished before Dread. So it should be quite funny. I'm not really. I'm doing up some trolls for Blood Bowl, but I'm going to wind him up with it.
Yeah.
I bought the troll kit. I'm going to do some Blood Bowl.
Just send him some photos of the Blood Bowl trolls next to some card saws and stuff like that, and some big shooters.
What are you doing?
Thanks for the idea, Dread. I'm running with it.
Blood's taking, dude. Yeah. So I think what we'll do is, why don't we just we'll finish with Dread's video.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll have a few picks just to see what out. just,
Yeah.
you know, of the finished models. Sound good?
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you very much for watching it. We're going to leave you with Dread's video, and then if you hang around, you'll see a few more detailed pics of the finished builds. So it's goodbye from me.
And from me, catch you on the next one.
Catch you later, Bill and Ted. Oh no, that's the wrong thing, isn't it? Bye.
Take care. Ta-da.
Greetings, boys and gits, from Dread of Wargaming, your personal Gork and saviour. Now, I have a little bit of a confession for you. While I had lots of very, very good ideas for the Battlewagon build-off challenge, many, I mean, I was throwing them out there into the void going, you know, I might build an iron squiggoth, I might do like a war rig with a big band and a stage and speakers and noise, and it'd be really good. I just put them ideas out there, realising that in truth I wouldn't be able to do it. And thankfully the other lads did take up my ideas and did a beautiful job of them. So I will be making a small video that you will see on our channel reviewing what the boys have done. So I'm going to have a little look at their entries. But as for my own, I've got reasons. I didn't manage to even really start. I just picked out a few bits and bobs. My reasons are just over my shoulder. Now, for any of you that were regular viewers of Dread Wargaming, the very small few of you, you might remember the Dread desk, and you might remember that Dread had an amazing place out in Ireland. Well, things changed, especially after COVID. Don't we all know it? So, Dread decided to come back to be with his family in the UK, and there will be a video on my very own channel back on Dread Wargaming explaining the journey and kind of what happened. But the long and short of it is I now live in a caravan. Or not a caravan, it's actually a camper van, because it does have a let's go for a walk. It does have a vehicular front. Yes, it does. It also has a number plate that reads grrr, so it's properly orky and properly piratey. However, it's not spacious, and I don't have all of my stuff. A lot of my stuff is in storage, so model projects have been very, very, very limited. So I've only been able to do the basics. Enough said. Enough said!